It is not fornication. You cannot fornicate here. Okay, you do not fornicate in open daylight. Utashikwa bwana, utashikwa na utarudishwa nyumbani. Usifanye hayo maneno hapa. Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you clicked on this. I'm so glad you came back. Thank you so much for the continued love and support. For those of you who are new, my name is Shel and I post random videos here and there. Please feel free to subscribe down here. The subscribe button is somewhere right here, red in color, and guys, it is absolutely free. Like free. You will not be charged a coin. Like nobody will ask you no questions, no nothing. Just click on it, then go to the notifications, and then click on click on the all thing, all, so that you like get notified every time I post a video. So guys, welcome aboard. So guys, I hope nemuretha moko mukaga gukuhaniriria nado muga ikara mushie mutirororo oguo. I mean, I'm hoping you're following all the directives that have been set by the government. Well, what I was speaking is italic, meaning we're observing everything that is supposed to be observed during these hard times we're finding ourselves in. These guys, so far so good. We'll contain things and things will get better, like most definitely. So guys, today I'm here with an interesting video on what it is like to work in the Gulf countries. What has it been like for me to work in Qatar? Like, what have my 3 years been like? What is the highlight of my 3 year stay? And actually today I don't want us to talk about highlights. I want to talk about the downside. Like, what has it been all rosy? How good is it? Is there a negative side to coming and working in the Gulf countries? Because of course when you talk about Qatar, it is basically what is happening in Dubai, basically what is happening in Kuwait, basically what is happening in Oman. So what is the downside? What is the side we don't get to show you? So guys, let's get this rolling. Karibuni sana guys. Subscribe, nemo subscribe, actually ni hahogo. Please hit the subscribe button. Toriada uga nefure gotire mudo gwetia onaki. Guys, before I even start talking about the disadvantages, about the downside of living here, when you get here, your gedogo goes on leave, on an unpaid, unwarranted leave. Like, because many a times you get to interact with people whose first, second, third language is not English, and you have to communicate at the end of the day. So you end up saying same, me no problem. So basically, when you come home, we are not coming from Britain, we're not coming from the UK. We will struggle with English a good, and especially because almost 80%, well, close to 50% of these people are from there. You'll find Nepalis, like the Arab countries, even the owners of this land, most of them do not speak good English. So, you know going, you know coming, eating no, you more coming, no eating, food no have. That is the kind of English you get to speak every single day. So you can imagine, okay, it's crazy. What I'm trying to say is it's crazy. So what is I'll talk about 10, well, from my perspective, and then if you have any other, if you're living in any other Arab country, if you're living in the Gulf and you have experienced any other challenges, then of course you can add them up in the comment section. So number one disadvantage of working here is you may have a crazy shift. Like, some companies will have people working for 12 hours. And these 12 hours, I mean, guys, when you talk about 12 hours, it could be from 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. It could be from 5 in the morning to 5 in the evening. Like 12 good hours of you being at work. So the other hours, of course, when you talk about 12 hours, you will be at work. We're not counting the hours you spend in traffic. We're not counting the hours you spend on doing laundry, preparing your meals and everything. So crazy working shifts. Number two, when you talk about crazy working shifts, we have people who have no off days, like literally. Like when you talk about a time when we have less, what is it called? Less manpower, you will find that companies will have people going to work from Monday to Monday. So you can only imagine working from Monday to Monday, 12 hours, no resting day. Like you work the whole week, 6 to 6 or for 12 good hours, whatever the timings, and you do not get to rest. So that is disadvantage number 2. But we'll not, of course, show that, but that is what some people are going through. So that is disadvantage number 2. Disadvantage number 3 is, guys, many times when you work in a company, you live in an accommodation. And so when you live in an accommodation, many times it is a shared accommodation, like you live with other people. So you will live with other nationalities, people. Like, of course, when I live with a fellow Kenyan, it's easy. I know, like, when you weka unga of ugali, wahagiragima, like the sufuria might not get clean that very moment. But some other people, like for people who do not cook ngima, who do not cook ugali, they will not understand. That is actually something very mere. What I'm talking about is it is very hard to live with people. Like being a lady, heaven on earth. It is hard. It is hard to live with people. And that is something we're subjected to. Like when you talk about shared accommodations, your level of hygiene may not match theirs. Your sleeping pattern may not match theirs. So it's crazy. Or now imagine a case where your shifts even vary. Like someone is working from 6 to 3 p.m. Then someone else is working from 3 p.m. to around 11 p.m. So of course, when you're coming home, someone is sleeping, you cannot move, you cannot listen to loud music. There are things you just cannot do because of course you have to like respect the boundaries. But not everyone will do that. So you'll come to a realization of the fact that some people will just live as if they are living on their own. Like they will just not care about the people they are living with. So that makes it very hard. Living with adoniarito woi. No, imagine you do not speak the same language. Now talk about someone like me. I live with two Filipinas. Two Filipinas at first. Now I live with one. And they will come and they'll speak their language. Well, they may not be talking about me, but the whole bit of, I don't know what they're talking about. I cannot like engage or like, we cannot like talk about common things. Like the only things we find ourselves talking about are work, diseases, what the government has said and everything. But like, oh, it's crazy. They'll wake up at 4 o'clock and start talking and you're sleeping and everything. Oh, thank God. Now it's 1, so she cannot talk to herself. She'll not listen to music. Plus there's a whole bit of you set boundaries. But ado, very difficult. Very difficult. So guys, talking about roommates, check out Angie Owoko. She's a YouTuber in Qatar, and she actually talks about the kind of things she has gone. See what I'm talking about? The kind of things she has gone through in the hands of roommates. Like she has a series of horrible roommates 1 and horrible roommates 2. I'll actually, yeah, she's right here. So that is the third disadvantage. Now, one other thing you will actually struggle with when you come to Qatar is, guys, racism is real. Like not everybody may have come across this. The lighting may have come across this, but racism is existent. Like someone, you may have gone or you may have plans of changing your job and attend an interview, but based on the fact that you're black, you cannot speak Arabic. You can possibly your boss is Arabic, or possibly the hiring team has an Arabic boss or something. You cannot speak Hindi. That will be the basis upon which you will not be hired. But guys, forget the whole bit of speaking and everything. Your skin color, the fact that you're not white, you're not Tagahuot, that will be the basis upon which you will be disqualified. So racism is real. It is real. One other disadvantage you will face when you come to Qatar is, well, this happens everywhere. You will find bosses, anyway, bosses. And this is actually not usually with the top management, like the high management. No, it will come to your immediate supervisors. Guy, they will make you go through hell, like you. And especially when you are this skin color of Shel myth, and your boss or your immediate supervisor is ngozi nyeupe, is a different skin color, and of course the top management, you will go through hell. And that is actually something I'm very conscious about, something I'm very intentional about. Since I'm now in that position, I make sure I do not at any point in time like treat people on the basis of where they come from, how they look, how good their English is. When we come to work, whether you're Kenyan, whether you're Ugandan, whether you're Sri Lankan, whether you're Nepali, to me it's one and the same thing. When we come to delegation of duties, what a Kenyan can do can be done by a Sri Lankan. Like, I am very intentional about that because I've seen it happening, and I don't want my staff to like go home and say, oh, our supervisor does this and this. So I am very intentional about not creating rifts, like differences between these ones do this best. No way. Moving on, one other disadvantage, it is not actually a disadvantage, but it is one thing you must be very conscious about when you're working in the Gulf, is that nothing is permanent. Like, nothing is guaranteed. You can lose your job this way. Like, something may go wrong and that will be the end of you. And especially when you talk about companies like which have a permanent like location, like this is where you work, this is what you do. A slight mistake like this will send you home. So like, you have to be very cautious, like you do what brought you there, because otherwise, guys, losing a job here is not a big news. Apana, you may be working today in the evening and tomorrow they tell you not to report to work. You go to the office or wherever they call you, and that will be the end of your story working with them. So like, jobs and job security is not a thing here. Like, no, not unless you're the founder or you're the one who started. No. Otherwise, when you come to work, you just do what you got to do. Like, and this reminds me, there's another YouTuber who did such a video, not such a video, but she mentioned this in one of her videos. Her name is Frashia Wokabi. Check her out. You just have to do what brought you here, because losing a job is not a story. It is not a thing you will hear of in the news. Apana, until you have to go through a committee. When they have evidence that this and this went wrong and they cannot continue having you in the company, out nature, you will oko the area, or you will board the next flight home. Like, that is how serious it gets. And so you have to like stay planned, like ukaya kwa mufago, ukara mufago, and like, you have to stay knowing that this job is based on a certain duration of time, and so let me save what I can, let me do what I can with this money, because next year, but too, you might not be here, you may not be in the same position you are in. So those of you who are watching and are here, take your job seriously. Like, the life, like, be grateful in the first place that you have that job. And much as we know, maybe you're working in a job that you do not like, but the fact that it is paying your bills, the fact that that is what is keeping you there, then give it 100%. Give it 100%. So another downside of working in the Gulf is you get to miss on important events back at home. Well, this happens with everybody who is working abroad, who is working in the diaspora. Everybody who leaves their home country and their family back at home actually faces this. You miss on very important functions. You will not attend weddings, you will not attend burials, you will not attend birthday celebrations, basically because you cannot board every other flight. Like, your father has a birthday this week, you go. Your mother has a birthday next month, you go. Of course not. You just end up missing very important functions, and that is actually draining to some extent, because like, I've been here for the past 3 years. My grandma passed on. I did not get to attend the burials, and some other things have happened in between. We have get-togethers, but you do not get to attend all of them. So you like, to some extent, there's that distance that cannot be covered by, okay, you will FaceTime, you will call them, you will message them and text them, but the appearance, physical, you being there, you being there, is just not like possible. So like, That is one other thing you have to live with. Guys, one other thing that is taxing when you live in the diaspora, when you work here, is that dating is damn hard. Like, PDA is not allowed, not unless you're married. You do not do those things. When you're going to a hotel, to what you call a lodging, you have to show evidence using a marriage certificate that this is your husband, this is your wife. So that does not happen here. So dating is actually very hard. I'm not saying it is impossible. I'm not saying you cannot date when you're here, but it is hard. There are things you will not do. Again, check out what is her name? Check out Angie Owoko's video on dating. Her boyfriend flew in to come and see her. But men, the goods are here. You cannot access them because for one reason or the other, they have no marriage certificate. We have neighborhoods, much as they have rented a house, it is a bachelor pad or something, they cannot go in. Dating is hard. Dating is hard. But once you have your marriage certificate, it can stabilize in due course and everything, you settle down. But you need evidence, guys. You need to have you need to have a wedding certificate to show that you're married. It is legal. Like, it is not fornication. You cannot fornicate here. Okay, you do not fornicate in open daylight. Utashikwa, bwana utashikwa na ukarudishwe nyumbani. Usifanye hayo maneno hapa. Hapana. One other downside of living in the Gulf countries is I mentioned the whole bit of living in shared accommodations. Well, there's the whole bit of having crazy roommates, and there's the whole bit of like your company not taking care of the needs, like properly furnishing your accommodation. Like, I'm so lucky. I consider myself one of the luckiest people abroad. Not abroad, wow. One of the luckiest. Like, my company does the maximum. Like, we have the basics, but we have companies where you will have to purchase your own gas or whatever you have to use to cook. You have to buy your own water, your own drinking water. You have to like pay for your own Wi-Fi. There's no water. In some accommodations, water is a privilege. So you can only imagine, you have no day off, you have a crazy working shift, you have to pay your Wi-Fi, there's no water, there's no source of entertainment, you are crowded in a room, like munalala ile stingo ya high school, ya boarding school, watu wawili kwa room. So watu wawili, it's a small room and congested, like maybe 5 or 6 people are sharing a room, a bathroom. Now, that is where the craziness goes in. It's okay, you can share a sleeping space and everything. Choo, bafu. Sasa choo, bafu, and there's no water, and it is poorly maintained. It is chaotic. Guys, it is chaotic. So, sometimes it is hard. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes it just gets hard. So we have companies that just don't care. As far as you're going to work, as far as you have no issues with the end client, that is the end of the story. So guys, mume subscribe, musha fanya nini hapa, musha subscribe hapa. Click on it, please click on it. Asante. So the last downside of working in the diaspora, and this happens to everybody who has traveled away from home on working basis, is you miss home. Homesickness is real. Guys, sometimes it nasas you, especially when you're new. Okay, right now, for some reason, it's not like I don't miss home. I miss my mom so much. Mama, I miss you so much. I miss my siblings, I miss my parents, I miss my friends, I miss home life, guys. But what I miss most after my parents and my immediate family is githeri. Hear that I hate to say, man, nima misaga githeri. Yani, misaga githeri mono, like deke misa na gia fiyo, ukemisa. Arafu modo tamokuhe agoka online, akadomira bisha akiruga githeri. Yani, ni akaraga githeri yake, ekira tonyanya, ekira firifiri, agacoka akadomera bisha hede yo njiriga githeria ngari yani ukaigua gikuwa ngoro ukaigua mashere ugathirwo ni hinya ukajia guturwo ni kaigagio. You get me? Anyway, what I'm saying is you get to miss your folks, you get to miss people back at home. It is not easy. Like, it is not easy, like, staying away from family. And especially if you are knit, like, it's a close-knit family kind of setup, you get to miss them a lot. So, guys, that's it from me. I hope you're keeping safe. I hope you're doing the best you can, because these are hard times we're facing, and we hope that things will get better. Stay prayed up. Tuzidi kuombeana, stay positive. Let us hope that things get better. We can only win or like sail through this if we like do the best we can. Like ufanya part yako, nifanye part yangu. You stay home, I stay home. I wash my hands, you wash your hands. Because if I do it and you do not do it, then there is no helping nobody. So guys, that's it from this side. Please subscribe if you're yet to. Let us interact in the comment section. Tell me what other challenge, if you're working in the diaspora, if you're working abroad, what other challenge have you faced? What other thing do you find very hard to deal with? Yeah, and that's it guys from me. Stay safe, stay positive. When you fail, do not stay there. When you make a mistake, do not stay there. When you make a dumb decision and you realize you have messed up, do not stay there. Pick your pieces and it will dawn again. That's it from this side of the continent. I'll see you guys in my next video. Msalimia majirani na muambia watch hii video, sindio? Bye.